All right, I'm here. Let's talk about it. I spent 3 days with Mr. Engineer. I learned a lot and then doubled back night before last and went for a cuddle date. And then we'll be doubling forward in tomorrow for a play date. So let's talk about this week's dates with Mr. Engineer because your girl feeling him. Your girl is feeling him. First things first, last weekend it was pretty dope. It was pretty amazing. Ooh, Friday we had a date. He texted me on Wednesday and was like, I wish we were watching No, he texted me on a Thursday and was like, I wish we were watching The Last of Us right now. If you do not know so far, go to TikTok and get caught up on Storytime, like number 3, I think, or Storytime number 2. We watched The Last of Us. And we picked it up that Wednesday morning when I was there. And so when he texted me Thursday, he was like, I wish we were watching Last of Us right now. And I was like, I know. I wish so too. He was like, dinner date tomorrow being Friday. And I was like, of course. So he's like, there is this restaurant called Fin and Feathers in Los Angeles. It's Black owned. I visited before the pandemic. Like, I'd love to take you there. Let's do 8 o'clock. I'm like, boom, bet. All right, we in there. So I text him Friday and I'm like, okay, we're still good to go. I'll be there around, I don't know, like 8:15ish, because he was attempting to set reservations at 8:30, and he texted me back and was like, I've been trying to call them for all day, no one's answering, so we don't have reservations, but let's still pull up. And I'm like, of course, cool. So I get dressed. What did I wear this time, guys? What did I wear? What did I wear? I remember what I wore now. I wore these pointed toe, like kitten heel blue pumps I got from Zara. I wore these like really dark, kind of almost gray jeans. Skinny jeans I got from Zara. I wore a graphic tee tucked in, and then I wore like a green jacket like over my shoulders because it was St. Patrick's Day, so I wanted to still be a little festive, but I'm into fashion, so I didn't want to do like a whole green look. So I had the blue shoes to kind of like make it pop, and the blue was like ocean blue, like it's really, really bright. Anyways, it was cute. It was giving like day and night. It was giving Rockstar meets Fifth Avenue. Like it was giving high low. It was giving cute. So I get to his house at about 8:15. He's already dressed. He looking good. He had on like a button up and then some jeans and some really nice shoes or whatever. And so he meets me downstairs and we immediately go get in the car because we're obviously running late. And so he's like, I'm gonna let you know, I've been trying to call him, still no one's been answering. I'm like, it's okay, cool, no worries. Like, you can tell he's a planner. He likes he likes a process. And I also feel like, it's a date. Like you got me out the house, you got me this way, like you want to make sure as a man that everything that you promised it comes into fruition. And I like that. I appreciate that. Okay, y'all, why do we get to this restaurant and they close? We get to the restaurant and they close. They close down. Not close for the night, they close down. And you could see on his face like he was so disappointed. He was like, oh my gosh, like he even pulls out his phone and is like, look, like it says that they're open. I'm like, it's okay, it's all right, like no frets, don't worry about it. I'm not that kind of girl that's like gonna hold this against you. But you could visually tell he was upset about it. So he's like, well, let's go see what else is around here. I know there's a Yard House around here. So we drove like maybe 10 minutes to Yard House. The Yard House had like an hour and a half wait. At this point, he's like, I'm hungry. Like, and I feel like we're not getting anywhere. And I'm like, it's okay. Like, I'm the kind of girl you can take to the local chicken shop and like get me a 2-piece and some fries and some bread and some peppers and I'm good to go. Like, you ain't got to worry about too much with me as long as I'm being treated right. I'm not really picky like that. So we end up going downtown Culver City. Obviously it's St. Patrick's Day, so it's nothing but people out. And he's like, let's go here. There's, it's a strip of like restaurants, so nothing too crazy. We probably won't have to have a reservation for most. I'm like, okay, cool. So we ended up landing at this Jamaican spot. I wish I remember the name of it, but it was so good, y'all. I had the brown stew chicken, dark meat only, excuse me. And he had the curry chicken. We ordered like 2 separate drinks, like their Jamaican style drinks. We had some plantains and we had some fries. Like, it was good. And we sat there for about an hour and a half just talking about life, talking about things like dating. And I got to learn a lot about his perspective on just the dating dynamic right now. And I won't say it's like, oh my God, revolutionary, but I could see how as a man, it's hard to date. Just like it's hard to date for a woman, it's hard to date for a man right now. So he was expressing his grievances, expressing the things that he's been struggling with. And we were basking in each other's ambiance, like nothing too crazy. So after that, we walk back to the car, we head back to the house. We're both like marijuana purveyors, okay? So he already had like edibles and stuff. And obviously at this point, it's like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. I'm not going home. I've come to realize if I get there, I'm going to spend the night. Like, it's non-negotiable. I'm spending the night, especially if you plan a date at 8 p.m. Just go ahead and plan for me to spend the night, because I'm not leaving at 11, 12 o'clock. That's not about to happen. So we're sitting there. We're getting caught up on The Last of Us. We got through like maybe another 3 or 4 episodes, and just nothing too crazy, enjoying each other's space, drinking wine, eating edibles, cracking jokes, holding hands, just cuddled up on the couch, like, so we ended up getting into bed maybe like around 2. We finally went to bed. Woke up the next morning and I'm like, okay, what are you doing today? So he tells me, oh, I'm gonna go hiking and I wanna go to the gym. And he kind of plans out his day. At this point, it's been raining in Los Angeles for 3 months. So we finally got a day where it's like 70 degrees, and it's this day. It's 70 degrees, it's bright. So I'm like, okay, and he's like, what are you doing today? I'm like, oh, my family's probably gonna cook out since we finally got some sunshine. He's like, okay, cool. So we lay in bed for maybe another hour and a half. And then we get up. And so I'm thinking like, okay, he's about to start his day or whatever. And he turns on the TV and he turns on The Last of Us. So I'm like, all right, at this point, it's like 9:30, 10 o'clock. We got some time. We can get an episode or 2 in. I look up, next thing I know, it's 12 o'clock. We've been sitting here for almost 3 hours watching The Last of Us, kikiing, cracking jokes. I'm the one that you probably don't want to watch TV with, because I'm going to talk about the episode while we're watching it. Like, why would she do that? Why would he do that? Oh my gosh, did you see that? Like, I'm a talker. So I look up and it's 12 o'clock and I'm like, okay, I feel bad because like he planned on going hiking. Like, we getting kind of deep into the day at this point. All right. I get up to use the bathroom. I come back out the bathroom with the intention of, getting dressed for the day. And he gonna hit me with I'm thinking about ordering pizza. You want some pizza? If you don't want me to leave, just say that. Like, if you don't want me to go, just say that. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I could do some pizza. I'm like, okay, I see you're about to order pizza. And then he makes a comment like, oh yeah, the liquor store is open too. Like, we can stop and get some liquor. So you're not going hiking. You're not going hiking and you ain't going to the gym. This is where we're getting at. So I was like, I need to go to my car and get some clothes because I can't wear the same thing. Like, we've had a full night, a full day, full night. Like, I need to change my clothes. PSA, I do not keep hoe clothes in my car. I always keep a couple bags for Goodwill in my car, only because I never feel like I have time to stop. And so because there's always clothes in my bag for Goodwill, I always have clothes in my car to wear in situations like this. So I was like, well, let me go to the car, probably get a pair of leggings, maybe get a little bodysuit, nothing too crazy, but at least I can like refresh myself because I'm still a woman. Like, I don't want to be walking around here smelling like last night's situation. I leave, head to my car. I call my mama on the way and I'm like, girl, I don't think we'll make it to the cookout today because this man want to order pizza and he want us to get some liquor and it's 12 o'clock and my man. So I get to my car and she's like, well, just make sure that you got some clothes. Make sure you got a toothbrush because don't no man want no girl that don't know how to practice hygiene. I'm like, you already know, like, I got some stuff in here. Why do I get to my car and I have no bottoms? I got a bag for Goodwill full of tops. What am I going to do with a top? What am I going to do with a bodysuit? Like, I got muumuus in here. I got nothing that I could put on after I got out the shower. So I'm like, well, let me get this little bodysuit, and I guess I'm just be walking around like looking like a little majorette, clearly. I get those clothes out the car, I got whatever I needed, walking back to the apartment, and y'all stay tuned for part 2 because we had 6 seconds left, so 1 second. Okay, so we left off on, I was calling my mama, getting my clothes out the car, and I was walking up the stairs, getting back into the apartment. As I was coming out the apartment, he was coming down to go grab the pizza. And I was like, well, while you go grab the pizza, I'm going to go ahead and take a shower. Like, clearly, we about to spend the day together, so I'm gonna go ahead and take a shower. And he was like, yeah, cool, like let me let you up and let me get you like a towel and stuff. So we go right back upstairs to the apartment. He gets me a towel, gets me some new soap, and he's like, I'm gonna go check on the pizza. And I'm like, okay, bet. I'm gonna go ahead and hop in the shower. So I hop in the shower, come back out, he's already back, and like I told y'all, I have no bottoms. Like, I had no leggings, I had no shorts, I had nothing. And I made mention of that when I was getting in the shower, like, dang, I couldn't find no bottoms in my car. And why do I come out the shower in my little bodysuit? That's it. And he already has options for me. He has shorts, he has long johns. He's like, yeah, I put some options to you for the side. Why are you listening? Why are you actively listening? Okay? Why are you doing that? So I end up putting on the long johns, and he's like, well, do you want to come with me to get the pizza? And then we can go to the liquor store because it's right next door. And I'm like, yeah, of course. So his area is super walkable. Like, you literally can walk everywhere. People are out there walking their dogs and like whatever. So we walk outside, we walk to the pizza place. Well, actually we went to the liquor store first, and I didn't know he used to be a bartender. So he was like, well, what are you feeling? So we grabbed some Jameson, some Irish whiskey, because it is St. Patrick's weekend. And we grabbed I got a Celsius, and we got some ginger beer. So we were going to do like whiskey mules basically. And then we went next door and picked up the pizza. And then we walked back to the apartment, and he got us our plates. And so we're eating pizza. He's pouring drinks, and we literally, y'all, we're sitting there from like 12 to like 5, like just underneath each other, just breathing each other's skin, like just watching TV. So we finished The Last of Us, off the chain. If y'all have not seen The Last of Us, you are missing out. It was off the chain. And we picked up some other shows. So 5 o'clock hits, the liquor starts flowing. We took a brief intermission from like 5 to 7, and we took a nap too. And so when we woke up at 7, literally we're still there. I'm still here. And I'm thinking like, okay, maybe it's time for me to go home. Like, maybe it's about that time. Mind you, earlier in the day, like, I like to have really, really clear communication. Like, I like to have really clear communication. So I was like, listen, at any point in time, if you're like over having me in your space, like, I get it, trust me. And I don't want you to feel like you're going to hurt my feelings. Like, trust me. I said, so let's have a safe word. Like, let's make the safe word pink panties. So when you say pink panties, I'm not going to ask no questions. We're not going to have a conversation. I'm just going to be like, all right, like, I'm about to go and start my day. And, that's how we'll do it. So when we woke up at 7 o'clock, I'm thinking like, okay, the day is kind of over with. Like, all right, no ma'am, no ham, no turkey. We go right back to the couch. He turns on the TV, and we just start watching YouTubes. And he starts to fall asleep like around, I don't know, like 10 o'clock, 10, 11 o'clock. At this point, we're like we're sunken into the couch. We're not only sunken into the couch, but we're sunken in together. Like, it's a whole situation. All right, so 11 o'clock rolls around, and he's falling asleep. Like, at this, we did so many different movements on this couch. So right now his head is in my lap, and his body is like that way, and his legs are like hanging over the edge of the couch. And he's like knocked out, snoring, knocked out. So I take the remote, and I'm like, well, look, at this point, let me get caught up on my shows on Netflix. I'm clearly behind. So I turn on Blacklist, and I'm watching Blacklist, and he's trying his hardest to watch it with me. So he'll open his eyes and watch a little bit, and then I'll hear him start to snore again. And so I'm like, what did I say? I was like, oh, how's Blacklist? And he's like, oh, it's so good. Like, I can't believe she died. Like, trying to pretend like he's in tune. I was like, look, if you're tired, like you can get in the bed, like, it's okay. And I'm thinking at this point, he's going to say pink panties. No pink panties. Instead, my man gets on his phone, opens up his chess app, and starts to play chess. And then he gets up, eyes bloodshot red. It's almost 1 a.m. He gets up and starts to play chess for like an hour. And I'm like, okay, you're like a toddler fighting your sleep at this point. I don't know if it's that you don't want to go to sleep, if you want us to stay up together, if you just don't want the day to end. I don't know what it is, but I'm feeling it. I'm liking it. So literally at 2 o'clock, I was like, we're going to bed. Like, it's time for bed. Let me backtrack a little bit. Hold on, let me backtrack. So before that happened, when he got up and started to play chess, I was like, it's okay. Like, I can go. Like, that way you can get in the bed. I was like, I don't want you to feel like you have to stay up because I'm here. And he's like, he was like, oh, if you want to go, like, you know, if you want to pull pink panties, that's fine. I'm like, okay. So I'm literally getting ready, and he's like, getting ready to get up, and he's like, no, like, actually, it's like really late. Like, no, you can stay if you want. Like, you can sleep over. Like, it's fine. And I was like, are you sure? He's like, no, it's too late for you to be going. Like, I don't want you to go. And I was like, all right. Okay. So I watch another episode of Blacklist, and then we get into bed at 2:00. And so he's the best person to sleep with. Like, not literally, not like sexually sleeping with. Well, that's not bad either. I mean, literally sleeping together. Like, he's the best because he's not the kind of person that's going to cuddle you all night, but he'll also cuddle you for the most part of the night. Like, we'll cuddle, and then we'll sleep back to back, and then we'll sleep face to face, and then we'll cuddle again, and then we'll sleep. Like, it's like a little routine going on here. So we started off cuddling. Halfway through the night, we were back to back. The other half, like, he's face to face. And like I said before, like, he's really big on like forehead kisses. So I'll wake up and he's giving me like 3 or 4 forehead kisses. Like, it's just pure bliss. So we woke up the next morning, and I'm like, okay, what do you have to do today? And he's like, well, I promised my sister I would help her move around 11 or 12. I'm like, okay, cool. So we literally laid in the bed until like, I don't know, y'all, 10:00. We got up at 8. We laid in the bed till 10, just on and off sleep, on and off sleep. And finally we got up, and finally I left at 10:00. So what was supposed to be a Friday night date to Fin and Feathers turned into a weekend long, like, Netflix and chill, let's just breathe each other's air date. So it was cute. It was a vibe. And I got back home, and I was like trying to process everything. Obviously, when you spend a weekend with someone for the first time, you're kind of going through like, how was it? What social cues did I pick up on? What did I not pick up on? Like, what was his response to certain things? And I really was like trying to process the weekend. And I left that weekend like feeling like I know he likes me, but it was still, I don't know, it was still uneasy. Like, in my head, I'm thinking his actions are showing me, but he's not really big on verbalizing. Like, he doesn't just clearly communicate, I like you, unless I ask him. But it's not like a, I don't know. And maybe that's just me. Maybe that's my insecurities, like needing that constant reassurance, like you're interested in me. So that may be something that I need to work on. But I still did leave like, okay, maybe he likes me, maybe he doesn't like me. But clearly you let somebody in your space for 3 days. Like, duh, Dorian, like, they must like you. I don't know, y'all. Either way it go, it was so cute. It was so cute. So we fast forward to 2 nights ago. How did we get into a cuddle date situation? 1 second. Let me break that down for y'all real quick. Hold, please.